Hello, Astronavigators, and welcome to Mrs. Buffkin's Art Corner. Today we're going to be stamping this awesome little bunny picture. I said stamping, that's right, we're going to make our own stamps. So let's go over the supplies that you're going to need for this piece of art. The first thing you're going to need is this. Yes, it is a roll of toilet paper, but we're not going to actually use the toilet paper itself. What we want is this cardboard tube that's on the inside of our roll of toilet paper. Sure, lots of these are hanging out at home. Please, kids, do not take toilet paper off the roll to get to it. That will make people very unhappy. Okay, so you'll need this. You'll need a pair of scissors. You might need some adult help with this because we're going to cut it. If you need it, be sure to ask for that help. We're also going to need something to stamp into. So here I have some glue. You can use just regular school glue. I've also got some white paint. You can use any color paint that you have. And if you don't have glue or paint, you can use this. This is a mixture of flour and water. What I did was I mixed a tablespoon of flour and a tablespoon of water together until it was nice and smooth, and it gave me this paste. This is a paste that is used for paper mache. So it's really easy to make, and that's what I'm going to be using today. You'll also need something to color in your stamps with. So here I have some markers. You can use those. You can use colored pencils. You can use crayons. You can use paint. Use your imagination for this one. You can use just about anything that you have around the house, art supplies wise. You can use some watercolor paints. A lot of you have those. And actually the picture that you saw, the first picture, was colored with watercolor. So let's set these aside. And then of course you're going to need a piece of paper. This is just a regular piece of paper, 8.5 by 11. You can use it in a copier. This can be just about anything. You can use the back of some cardboard. So if you have, say, a cereal box at home, just cut out the cardboard and use the blank side, and you can stamp on that too. It makes a great picture. So what I'm going to do is I've got my paste in a container, any container that's got a flat surface. So like a small plate or even a food container will give you a flat surface. And the reason why we want it flat is because we're going to be stamping into that liquid. So we need it to be flat. We're going to take our toilet paper tube and we're going to cut it in half. If you need help, make sure you get help. Don't do it on your own if you're not sure that you can. So we've got two pieces. We're going to make two stamps with these. The first one is a circle. We're going to leave it as a circle for now. So we'll set that one aside. The next one, we're going to fold it in half, just like this. So we've got two corners here, and we're just going to puff it back out. And look at that. It's kind of like an oval shape or a bunny ear. So that's exactly what we're going to use to make our bunny ears. Take your shape, dip it into your medium. This, like I said, is just flour and water. Get a nice big coating on there. And then we're going to stamp our first bunny ear. Now see how it stamps? It's not completely even, and that's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it because that's part of the charm of this project. Now, am I just going to take this stamp and stamp again? No, I need to get some more medium on there. So I'm going to go ahead and dip it into my paste again, get a nice coat on there, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it right next to the other ears and lift straight up. So I've got two ears here. Notice how I'm placing my ears. They're not just straight up. They could be if that's how you want your bunny, but I'm going to tilt mine a little bit to the side and I'm going to push down and I'm going to pull straight up. I'm not going to move it around on the paper. Re-dip it into my medium. And I'm going to tilt this one. Actually, I'm going to do this one straight up. I'm going to go straight down, straight up. How cute is that? Okay, so the next stamp we're going to use is the circle one that we didn't bend. So I'm going to dip that in. This is going to be our bunny head. I'm going to stamp that down straight up so that it's just touching the bottom of the ears. So we know that those ears belong to that bunny. Do the same thing over here. Straight down, straight up. I'm going to do the bunny body. Same thing. It's kind of like a snowman. Got two circles on top of each other. And if you wanted to do a snowman picture, that'd be awesome too. But it's around Easter time, so this is what we're going to do. We're doing our bunnies. Now, before we stamp again, we're going to change the shape of our circle. This is the part where you want to be a little bit careful because we've got some stuff on it. We don't want to get our hands too dirty. So on this part, we're just going to bend it. We're going to make it like a teardrop shape or a flower petal shape. But this, we're going to use as an egg shape. So let's dip it. We're going to keep that little point up and just start stamping one dip, one stamp, Easter eggs all along the bottom. And I'm going to kind of turn this just a little bit each time so that it's not just up and down all the way across. Remember, dip your stamp each time. And there we go. We're going to add one more thing to our bunnies. And this one is a really complicated step. We're going to use a really serious tool. So you guys pay really close attention. Take your finger, dip it in. Boop, bunny tail. Just kidding. That wasn't very hard. So we've got two bunny tails, two fingerprints. That's awesome. Now, the really hard part of this project is letting this dry, because unfortunately you do have to let it dry before you move on to the next step. Otherwise, you're going to smear this stuff all over the place and your project is just going to end up frustrating you. So let it completely dry, come back to the video, and we'll get started again. But because I'm filming this video, I happen to have one on standby that has completely dried. So we're going to go ahead and move right into the coloring step so you can see how that's done. Now, I'm going to use markers because it's the quickest for me to show you how to do this. You can use whatever you have at home and whatever you want. If you want to use markers, crayons, colored pencils, paint all together, I say go for it, because we'll call that a mixed medium project and it will look awesome, guys. First thing I want to do to my bunnies, and these are your bunnies, you do what you want on your project. I'm just showing you how I'm going to do my bunnies. I like to put a little bit of pink right here in the bunny ears. I'm just going to add a little bit of pink. And because I'm using blue paper, this is kind of looking a little purple, but that's okay because it's still awesome looking. And I'm going to give the bunnies a little pink on their tummies. And right in the center of their face, I'm going to do a little tiny upside down triangle and color it in. You know what that is? It's their nose. Cute little bunny nose. Now I'm going to take, let's use purple. I'm going to give my bunnies purple eyes. Big purple eyes. I'm just coloring some ovals in there. And let's give this bunny brown eyes. Give this one brown eyes. And by the way, brown is another color that your bunnies could be. If you don't want to stamp white and you have some brown paint, make your bunnies brown. If you're using glue to do the stamping, you're going to need to add some color. So either white or brown. And on one of the things that I'm going to show you in a little bit, I made some of my bunnies brown. Like the first picture you guys saw. Those were brown bunnies. You could also make polka dot bunnies. Like I said, use your imagination. And I'm just going to add some color real quick to these. But you guys take your time, add lots of color, make them as nice as you can. And here we go, just to give you an idea of what we've got going here. Now for the last part on the bunnies, what I'm going to do is take a Sharpie. You can also use a pen, but I'm going to give them cute little smiles. And what these are, just little J's. A backwards capital J and a frontwards capital J. That's all it is. And give them some whiskers. Now, go in with green and give yourself some grass. Color all in here. Nice wisps of grass. Some of these eggs can have grass in front of them because they're in the grass. You guys, again, you're going to be doing a much better job than I am right now because I'm just hurrying along to show you the video. So here you go. Here are some of the examples of some of the other ones that I did real quick. This one was done using white paint and marker. This one was done using school glue and then watercolor. Remember to let it dry in between. And these are the brown bunnies I was talking about. And this one was done with the school glue and colored pencils. I colored white on here, but because my paper was blue, it didn't show up quite as well. But that's okay because they're still awesome looking. This one, white paint, marker. This one was done with the flower and marker, and this one was done with flower and crayon. So whatever you guys choose to do, it's going to turn out awesome. You can always rewatch this video to get to redo this project or to answer some questions. But if this video doesn't answer your questions or you're just not getting something, leave me a comment down below and I'll help you out. I'm here for you guys. Have fun with this project and happy Easter.